um, Buddhism exists on this earth because there are too much suffering um, in this world. The suffering of us, of sentient being, where do they come from? If we talking about the root of the suffering is because of um, our illusion. We forgot um, our original nature. We were deluded and not able to recognize the Buddha nature that we originally have. Because of illusions and ignorance, we lost um, our Buddha nature and then accept the fake ego, thinking that it's true. From there, once we establish an ego, a perception of the self, then everything falls into relativity with subject and object. The self, the fake self, um, the fake ego leads to self and others, leads to subject and object and duality. To sum up, we for our life we use the self as the center and then look at everything outside of the self um, and treat everything that we see from the world and others. If it follows what we want, then we like it, like them. If it goes against what we like, then we dislike it or hate it. Anything we feel like bring us happiness or follow what we want, then we attach to that and want to have more. Anything that goes against what we want to push it away and destroy it. So our likes and dislikes are within the five things. Um, money, um, relationships, fame, sleep, and food. We can refer to those as the five desires. And we are very attracted to these five desires, never feel enough, and always want more. When we face the things that make us not happy or goes against what we want, then we feel angry and want to find a way to push it away or destroy it. Meaning our mind always make judgment and um, choose the option, whether to attach, to hold on to, or to push things away. When we like, dislike, hold, or push away, right there we are creating karmas. Once we create the karmas, there for sure will be um, the fruit of those karmas. If we create wholesome karma, we will that will lead us into the human or the heaven realms. If we generate bad karmas, that will lead us to the three lower realms, animals, ghosts, and hells. Our illusion is called um, an ignorant thought. If we don't cultivate and transcend this ignorant thought, we never be able to liberate. We will keep, you know, run within like this is like hold on or let go, and always be plunged in birth and death n- with non-stop. Therefore, all of our sufferings, we can say it, we can generalize them as because we have self-attachment. Because of the attachment, we have the self and all of the things that belong to the self, and that lead us to duality, um, make us think there are things that we like, dislike, want to hold on or push away, you know, and we keep attached that there is a self. If we pay attention and control ourselves, we can see that the two words that we use the most in our life is the word I and my. I means self and my means um things belong to the self. From birth all the ways to death, when we talk, most of the time the first word comes out is I, mostly talking about me. Um, when we were little, we consider that little kid is is me. When I grow up, I consider that old person as me. So what is the true self, the true I? It has been transformed the whole life. Then at which point is the real self? We feel like when was born, there is a self naturally, and that self grow up, go out to society, get married, get old, and get sick and die. It's all just this one self. So now we are learning Buddhism. We should think about this. Um, our life since childhood until old age and death, it transforms all the time. Then which person in which year of that life is the real self? when we sleep or when we awake, you know, when we wake up in the morning, the first thought is about me. What should I do? What will I do? And e- or in all aspects of our life, it's all about I and um, my parent, my spouse, my house, my thoughts, etc. Is there any time when we stop and reassess which what is this self? Who is me? Where am I? If when we look at that, normally we will say, I am here, this body is me. Very clear. It's very clearly that way. Now that we study Buddhism, we we should reassess whether this body truly you? Is this body which which part of this body do you think is you? Um, if we think the whole body is if we think the whole body is me, if we think that way, um, then let's think if we lose our our arm or if we lose our leg, then the body would not be complete. Then that incomplete body, is it still me? We can see that if we say that the whole body is me, then once the body lose one part, then this self should also be incomplete, right? But now you can see that even if we lose any part of the body, the concept of the self is still the same. It doesn't lose anything, you know. It still be the same or even more. So we can say that this body doesn't represent the self. Um, in return, we can also say my brain represents me or my heart. The heart, the beating heart here is me. If we say this brain is me or this beating heart is me, then if we remove the brain or the heart from this body, then it's still alive, right? Because it is its own self, so it should be alive on its own, right? But do you think we can be alive by doing that? So when we think it that way, we can see that this body is not the self. Even if we say the whole body is the self, is not correct. Or if we say a part of the body is the self, you can see that when we remove the part from the body, it cannot be on its own. So you can see that this body cannot be me, cannot represent the self. We now know that all the cells within our body um, changes all the time. It ends and then it regenerates. it dies and it regenerated all the time. So every moment, the cells changes all the time. So we cannot pinpoint at which point is there is a self that doesn't change. We also know that this body is a combination of the four elements. So we cannot pinpoint any specific part as a represent of the self. So especially for Buddhists, we know that this body is not me. So um don't try to serve this body and put a lot of effort, a lot of effort to to adorn this body, to protect this body, um take care of this body. We should start uh gradually letting go attachments with this body, even if we cannot completely detach from it. We at least have to start to try to lessen the attachment, because the reality is this body is not me. So we say that, oh, the body is not me. Maybe the mind is me. If the mind is me, then where is the mind? You also know that um, the beating heart is just a material, right? It's a combination of the four elements. Or when we talk about the mind, the spiritual mind, um, then where is that spiritual mind? So when we say the mind is me, that mind in reality is just a whole host of um, all the thoughts keep arising, keep flowing like a river, one thought after another, without stop. So we can see our thought arise for one moment and then get replaced by another thought, and they keep generating, you know. Um, with such thought now right away become the past, then the next one become the past again. So um, if we say about the past, the present, and the future, then which thought is me? So we can see that from our thoughts, all of our thoughts flow like a waterfall, never stop. Then um, nothing is fixed, nothing is unchanged to be referred to as me. So when we analyze it like that, we can see that the deluded mind is not me. The main point of our birth and death is because we attach this body as me and keep creating karmas um, that lead us to a different body, um, and lead us into illusion, just like, like being in a play, this life, and then another play, the next life, and keep doing that. So, to be in the play or to be in this game is not really fun at all. Um, every life, if we're lucky, we are a human, but in reality, there's a lot of life that have a lot of sufferings. Our purpose of learning Buddhism is um to recognize the that this deluded mind and body is not me. And once we recognize that, we will be able to return to the true mind, the true mind that transcends birth and death. And once we are able to return there, we will be able to liberate from birth and death. In the past, the people with the high capacity, once they listen to the prajna theory, saying, the body and the mind is emptiness. The true mind is uh, no birth and death. Right there, they were able to get enlightened. So those are those wise people. Once they hear talking about the true form of the mind, right there, um, their notions of their notions or their notions of subject and object fall apart, and they are able to recognize the realize the true mind right away. In the Surangama Sutra, it describes that such enlightenment is when the deluded mind stop. That is Bodhi. S- So we are not the people with the such high capacity. Um, the body and the mind always give us very such real feelings, right? And we are not able to pinpoint to tell that it is not real. So how should we do? What should we do? First, don't be nervous, don't be worried, because the Buddha said all sentient beings originally have um the s- um the complete virtue and wisdom of the Tathagata. We right now is just like a beggar, very poor, but in reality, the bowl that we are carrying to beg for food is made from gold. It's just that we don't know. We just don't know that. Um, the Buddhist scriptures taught us and told us that wh- the right now we feel like a beggar, very poor, but in reality, the bowl that we are carrying is a gold bowl, because we know we have the self nature that is equal and the same as the Buddha. So we have the hope of to be able to liberate it. if the characteristics and the wisdom of the Tathagata is not the same as what we already have, then there's no way, no matter how much we cultivate, we wouldn't be able to have that. We cannot create such nature. It's just like the sand, no matter how long we cook, it cannot turn into rice. So we have to believe that we originally already have um, the characteristics and the wisdom of the Tathagata and the Buddha. That's why if we practice the right way, diligently, we will become a Buddha. The Buddha and the patriots left behind um, the teachings. It's all of them one is to help us have the belief in our true mind, increase the belief in the mind. The Buddhist scriptures um, explain to us on theory, at least on theory, we explain to us that we are living with our deluded mind, but we have a true mind. So, what is the connection between these two? The reality is our deluded mind in birth and death, and our true mind, the original mind, is have a very close connection. In reality, they cannot be separated into two. That's why in the Platform Sutra, the sixth patriarch said Buddhism cannot um, separate it from the worldly Dharma. If we separated them two, it's just like we we have we're looking for a horn on a rabbit. There's no way that that would be possible. Meaning, um, the true mind um, is there. It's just because we are deluded. That's why um, it shows as the deluded mind. But it's not like they are not two separate things. This deluded mind, in reality, is just an attachment. There's no there's no separate deluded mind. It just um it everything shows from the true mind, but it's because of our mis misunderstanding, our wrong perception. That's why we see subject and object and see it through the deluded view. That's why the Mahayana school said afflictions is bodhi, birth and death is nirvana. They are not two separate thing, non-dualistic. So the essence of the Buddha and the sentient being, it's only different in one thought in illusion, when our view is the wrong view of sentient being. Once that thought is enlightened, then all of our seeing is the same seeing as the Buddha. So we can use the example that the true mind is like water, um, and the deluded mind is like the tide, you know, the tide that gener that generate from the water. So is it that the tide and the water are they one or two separate things? Well, when we are deluded, forgot about the essence of the water, and then we attach to the form of the waves. Then the waves is the attachment to the form of the waves, which is refers to the deluded mind, birth and death. Anybody who can see that the form of all the waves doesn't matter what form the waves is, its essence is still water. Nothing different than the true mind. Then those people are the one who can see the true form, the real form. So when we talk about the deluded mind and the true mind and their connection, why is it? Because this is uh, the primal point of our practice. Um, the difference between the illusion and enlightenment is right here. We talk about this for us to contemplate and um, like n- contemplate about our practice to understand what we are doing. So we can contemplate about this, and during the practice, we will be able to see this more and more. We have to ask the question, raise the doubt, and in our daily lives, we have to remember this theory, um, because it will lead us on the right way. So the method of patriot Zen, um, the doubt was originally passed down from the Buddha till now. The doubt, the origin of the instruction about this, um, point right at the true mind, and talking about the doubt is originally from the Buddha. One day he was about to teach the Dharma, and everyone was about to listen to his Dharma. That day, um, the Buddha, for some reason, didn't say a word. He only hold um, a flower and raise it to everyone for everyone to see, but he didn't say a word. Right there, he wanted um to say that uh hundreds of hundreds of thousands of people right there is everyone was about to listen to uh, the war honor one to teach the Dharma, right? That is their normal thought, because at each assembly, the Buddha normally will talk about the Dharma. But today, the Buddha say nothing, but raise a flower. Then everyone feels surprised. So that surprise is because everyone normal assumptions suddenly um, didn't didn't come out to the same result as they expect. Um, and that's why at that point they start to doubt or start to raise the doubt in that assembly. In the audience, the heavenly and the human audience, there's only one person that was able um, to get the idea, to get enlightened. That is um, the Venerable Mahakasapa. He was able to get the idea of the Buddha. We have been um, so this story normally referred to as the war honor one raised the flower, and Mahakasapa smiled. So he was able to get the idea and get enlightened, even though the Buddha didn't say a word. So if we don't understand what is the doubt, we can start imagining about that assembly. We can imagine ourselves as one of the audience who prepare to listen to the Dharma talk of the Buddha. But the Buddha didn't say anything, but instead he raised the flower. And we really want to understand what the Buddha means, right? Of course, the Buddha, everything he does is a way to teach the Dharma. It- It's not a coincidence. And we really want to know what the Buddha trying to say, then um, we naturally put ourselves into the state of not knowing, then we will be able to perceive the doubt. So we can imagine like that. When at the time the Buddha raised the flower, we were right there. We look at it and we really want to know the what the Buddha is trying to say. That state is raising the doubt. We don't need to try to do it, it will automatically arise. So there's a little bit of time for question right now. Anybody have question, you can ask. Um, Namo Buddha, dear thầy, the um the action of the Buddha raising the lotus flower, what is the meaning? Could you please um explain? The act of the Buddha raising the lotus flowers and Master Mahakasapa smiled. What is the meaning of that? Could you please explain further? So you asked this question, meaning you are meditating. So you should meditate. What is the meaning? The Buddha raised the flower like that. You are one of the person in that audience. Only Mahakasapa get enlightened. Nobody else uh, understand. So you can keep meditating that question, what is the meaning of the Buddha raising the flower? That is meditating. So if you feel wanting to know um the meaning of the Buddha raising the flower, that could be your vital question for you to meditate. So the Buddha raising the flower is the first ever công án of Patriot Zen. There are still a lot of people still meditating this công án. Thank you, thầy. Namo Buddha, the uh, teachers and the whole Sangha. I have a question about the practice. My friends share with me that he it took him 4 years for him to get the idea and practice the right way. And at the beginning, it seemed like a lot of people, were confused uh, about the teachings and just follow what the teachers tell and uh to practice. So he he feel like for the beginner, when they ask the question but they don't have the answer, then they answer to themselves that I don't know, and they keep embracing that don't know until the doubt raise. Should he do that way as a way to practice?
告诉自己不明白，就抱着这个不明白，这样子的用功方法，请师傅开示这样子用对不对？因为我们在家居士想用功也不容易，好像不容易把它弄明白，关于怎么样参才对。
He answered, I answered, if we embrace that not knowing, then that not knowing is like a state, a object that we hold on to. So that is a state, not the mind. But that the doubt is the mind, not not a state. So if they hold on to that, to the not knowing, they are hold on to a state, a subject, sorry, an object. But the doubt is a state, like the lady who just asked, what is the meaning of the Buddha raising the flower? Um, if she have that question and wanting to know but cannot know, then that mindset is the doubt is meditating. If we just, you know, hold on to the not knowing, um, then it's just a mental state. It's not the doubt. The doubt is we want to know but cannot know.
Nghi tình là cái trạng thái tâm muốn biết mà chưa biết được, gọi là nghi tình.
So the doubt, why do we call it that way?
Cho
Because
nên
the feeling of doubt is
nghi tình
um
là một cái, tại sao gọi là tình? Tình là
is
một cái feeling,
is a feeling
một cái cảm giác.
that we want to know,
Nó không phải là
where we really want to know,
nghi
but
tình là
we're
cái
still not able to know. That is
có cái
called the
feeling
feeling of doubt. If
đủ
we just hold on to the not knowing,
rất là muốn
then
biết,
that not knowing
biết được
doesn't have such big feeling in there,
thì
doesn't
không
have
nghi tình. Nếu mà mình
you
ôm
know,
một cái
we
không biết á,
if
thì
we
mình
hold on
không
to
có
that, it's
cái
just same thing as hold on to
cũng
like
không có cái cảm
an
giác gì.
object, like a rock.
Có thể nói là mình giống như ôm cục đá cũng được.
If we do that, we just
Thì
hold on to
cái đó
a
nó không
mental
có một
state,
cái,
but
nó
it's
gọi là
not
nó
the
không có đáp án.
investigating mind. It's not
Ví
the
dụ
mind
như
of
là mình đi vô
wanting
một
to know,
đối cảnh mà
but
chưa không phải
still not
là
able to know.
cái tâm muốn biết, cái tâm tham cứu, muốn biết mà chưa biết được cho nên mình tham. Tham là bởi vì muốn biết, chưa biết được thì gọi là mình đi tham cứu.
Um, Previously you said the person who took 4 years to know the how to practice. He said when he asked the question, his mind has to have the question.
Thì
Uh,
khi mà đề
Having the
vào
question
cái
is
tâm mình phải có thắc
okay,
mắc,
but still not the
cái thắc
doubt.
mắc đó cũng được nhưng mà nó chưa đủ và chưa phải. Có một chút thắc mắc còn thì cũng được nhưng mà chưa phải.
The question is not like it's not the doubt, but it's still uh it's not like it's not right, but it's not complete. It's not enough.
Thì cái thắc mắc
We we are meditating in order to
sao? Vì bây giờ mình đang
explore,
ngồi
to
đây để
understand
khám
the
phá
true nature of
thực tướng
the true mind of everything. So we have to sincerely want to know, if we only have the question only, it's not wrong, but um it's not enough. It's still lack.
Nó không có sai nhưng mà nó không có đủ sức, nó yếu.
Same like a mother lost her 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 child and doesn't know where the kid is, doesn't know whether the kid is alive or not. Then her mind not only have that question in her mind that not sure uh where my kid is, but above beyond that, she also want to know where the kid is. Um, and she really wanna find out where the kid is. We have such um we have we need to have such strong feeling like that situation when we practice. Um, this practice has to be the most important thing in our mind. So the mind of the mother who doesn't know where her kid is, uh, it doesn't stop at just having the question in her mind, but also always uh is she always urging. There's always an urge to find out where her kid is. So the mindset of birth and death need to have such a strong urge, a strong push like that, then automatically when we practice, the doubt will arise. It's not like we create a doubt. It will arise automatically. So if we sincerely, you know, um, think, uh, take the birth and death seriously and sincerely, um, and we believe in the words of the Buddha that our original essence has is the same as the Buddha, and we don't have to stay in samsara. We just right now because we deluded, right, and forgot about it. We just need to find the path to return to our home and resolve the issue for ourselves and for all sentient beings. So if we have such the mindset, um, have such a strong mindset, then our practice will be strong. Um, this issue is even more important than finding the lost child mentioned in the story. So what's the purpose of ask the question is to raise the the mindset of really want to know the true nature, really want to break through the veil of ignorance that cover us. So to ask the question is to keep raising that feeling, that mindset. It raise such mindset, not it's not to hold on to the not knowing.
Nó gợi cái tâm trạng chứ không phải là ôm cái không biết.
So very clear. Um, it's not like we ask the question and keep wondering whether I have the doubt or not. Is this doubt or is the other thing is doubt? What is the doubt? then that is wrong because it has to start from our mind that, sincerely want to find the answer of the question. So when we ask the question is to redirect us to that mentality. The time is up. We only talk. We will talking here. Thank you everyone. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.
Bây giờ thì hết giờ rồi thì hôm nay mình nói tới đây. Cảm ơn quý thầy, quý cô và đại chúng. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Cảm ơn sư phụ.